As we get deeper into fall and the grass starts to slow down, it is time to go through the herd and decide who's gonna stay for another year and who's gonna go. That's what's going on today on Farmer Tyler Ranch. I pretty well have decided which cows are gonna go, and once we get them here in the corral, I'll explain a little bit more why. And looking out in the field here, I can see about half the cows are laying out here in the pasture and the other half look like they're up here in the corral. So we gotta figure out who is where and what we're gonna have to do to get everybody up here where we can catch them. As luck would have it, it looks like only one of the ones that I want is up here. So let's take a little stroll out here in the pasture, see if we can figure out where everybody else is. I have this hope that maybe I can push the ones up that I want without the four-wheeler, because there are so many cows up in the corral. If I start pushing on these a little bit on foot, they might just go on up in there by themselves, but we'll have to see. This black cow laying down here is one of them. That's number 60. And it looks like the other is up here. It's this red white face laying down here, old number 10. You too. Get in there. All right, that worked. You probably noticed that number 60 was limping on her front leg. That's actually the first time I've seen her do that. Let's see if we can't gather up the ones we need. I happen to know that two of the cows we're going after are pretty even-tempered, but one of them is very high-strung. In fact, that's the whole reason she's going. So I think I will be smart to not try to get the high-strung one by herself. If I could get the three of them together, that would be ideal. But at the very least, I want to get one of the mellow ones running in with the high-strung one, however that happens to work out. So that's what we're gonna try to do. We'll see how it goes. So I think that black one looking at me from the other side of the pile is the wild one. I don't know how well the GoPro picks it up, but she's very intently looking at me where no one else really cares that I'm in here. And that's not a very good disposition, in my opinion. And also under the tree here is red number 10, which is a mellow cow, so we'll try to take them all together. And we got a steer here that we don't need, but he'll probably break off. Probably. She's going the right way. He does it. All right, that's not that big of a deal. We can sort that steer off now. Patient, he might go where we want him. Well, the steer doesn't seem too intent on getting out of that corner, so I guess what I'll do, well, now he's kind of thinking about it. We'll kind of see how it plays out, but another option instead of getting him off right now would be to just keep him locked in here with these two, and then when we get him moving towards the trailer, we could sort him off then. Well, that's kind of what I was afraid of. He's just parked in that corner and he's kind of glued to that cow. So my assumption is what will happen, we bring the next cow in, get them all three in here, and then when I open this gate to get them going towards the trailer, the cows will go first because they know that that's the way out of this corral, and we should be able to cut him off then so that just three of them go in the trailer and the steer can go back out to the pasture. There's a decent chance that I could have went in the pen there and separated them, got the steer out, but it's just not worth taking the chance of pushing that crazy cow up over a fence, or, you know, if she blew by me and went through the gate. We've got her caught, so let's keep it that way. All right, number 60, where are you? So these are our 3 Cull cows for this year. We've got 3 replacement heifers coming in, so 3 cows have to go out. Number 60 here, in addition to the fact that she's developed a limp here recently, is one of the cows that had a stillbirth this year. And not only that, but she's got pretty bad conformation. If you notice, she's got a pretty extreme humpback, which is not desirable. Because of the stillborn and the bad conformation, she's one that has to go down the road. It's kind of a shame because she is a younger cow, but what I've learned about Cull cows is they are either really pretty young or really pretty old. You don't usually get any in that mid stage in life. Red Whiteface number 10 here is a pretty old cow, and she lost her calf this year. This was the one that only made it like 2 or 3 days, and it had some birth defects. Not really sure what all was going on there. Either way, she was on the list to go this year anyway, just because of her age. Number 12, the wild spirited black cow back there, to this point has done everything right. She calves on time, she weans a nice calf. There's really no problems in that regard, but you can just see her attitude, and I don't like that, because an attitude like that is contagious, and she'll teach other cows or calves to act that way. And she is a somewhat younger cow as well, but the reason why I finally decided to get rid of her is because there was no one else in the herd with worse problems than that. And I got to thinking about the fact that if she hurts me or breaks a fence or whatever the case may be, then she's costing me money, and it's not worth it. So in the trailer she will go. With my fragile corrals and bad attitude cows, the best thing to do here is just wait. Let them hopefully make the decision on their own. Looks like the red cow went in the trailer, and these other 2 are thinking about it. So we're just gonna be patient. My biggest fear is that she'll try to jump a fence, because she'll probably make it, and then there will be no way to get her in the trailer until it's fixed. Come on. She's gonna jump that fence, I guarantee it. Come on, honey. No, go! Oh, we had her there. Either. No, don't do that. You're gonna. I know you're gonna. No, don't do that. Go, go, go. Yes! Oh my gosh, I just didn't think we were gonna get it. Patience paid off. Well, some cows I'm sad to see go, and some cows I can't wait to get rid of. And I got a couple of each in this group. I'll let you guess which ones are which. The video of me loading those cows is not going to do justice to how long it actually took. I'm going to edit a lot of that out because it's boring to watch on film. I think in total, to get those cows all on the trailer and get the door shut on them took about 15 minutes, which honestly, that's way too long. It's kind of ridiculous that it would take that long, but I had to be very careful about how hard I was pushing them. I could see number 12, the wild cow, kept putting her chin over the fence. I could tell right where she wanted to try to jump it, and I honestly can't believe that she didn't. If I was a betting man, I would have put a lot of money saying that she was going to end up jumping that fence. So while this did end up taking a lot longer than it should have, it didn't end up taking as long as it could have if she would have jumped the fence and broke it. And then honestly, I mean, it would have been weeks until I would have been able to haul those cows, because I would have to fix that loading chute, and you know, that would have taken a lot of time. We're back now with 3 less mouths to feed and 1 less bad attitude to deal with. Sending Cull cows down the road can be sad depending on, you know, what cows you end up having to take, but it is an essential part of herd management. I think generally when people think about herd management, you think about your inputs as to how you're making it better. Better genetics, better mineral program, whatever it might be. But equally as important is taking things out of the herd that are bringing it down. In this case, we got rid of a cow with a pretty bad attitude, and some people might think, you just deal with that, it's not that big of a deal. Maybe, but what you have to remember is cattle, being herd animals like they are, they play off of each other's emotions, for lack of a better term. So if you've got everybody in this corral and you're working them, and one cow starts putting her head up and getting nervous, then the other ones see her doing that, and it's natural for them to think, well, why is she nervous? Maybe I should be nervous. And then you can see how that bad attitude can kind of spread throughout the herd. Not only are flighty cattle more of a pain to deal with for me, but I don't think they perform as well either. The way that I think about this is that every time the cattle see me, if one is running away, running to the other end of the corral, or like, let's say when I'm feeding them, same thing. She's not getting up to the feeder because she doesn't want to be near me. Not only is she intaking less, but she is stressing herself out more often. And there's a direct relationship between how much an animal is stressed and how well they perform. The other all-black cow that we took, number 60, who was limping here, and strangely when she got off the trailer was no longer limping anymore. So I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, could a cow like have her leg fall asleep like we do that would make her walk funny? I honestly don't know, but when she jumped off the trailer at the sale barn, she looked pretty good to me. Again, and I know I'm repeating myself, but the reason that I got rid of her was because she had a stillborn calf this year and she had bad conformation. The stillborn is kind of a tricky one because it's really difficult to say if the stillborn is something that was directly because of her or something that was out of her control. But I know that Grandpa used to always get rid of cows when they had stillborns, but because he said it just wasn't worth taking the chance on them again. And the last cow was the red white face, number 10, and the reason that she went, as if you remember, was because she's pretty old. And she was one that I was debating over selling last year, but I decided to give her one more year. And that didn't end up working out too good for me, as you may recall. I'm not entirely sure how old number 10 was, but man, she's been around for a long time. The hard truth is none of them are going to live forever. And once they reach a certain point in their life, even if they are still healthy like she was, I feel like it's better to take them to the auction and let them enter our food supply instead of having her ending up dying here and just going to the rendering plant. I know it sounds kind of harsh, but that is the reality of it. Ever since I've gotten back here, I've noticed Rivet standing over here staring off this direction, and I couldn't figure out what his deal was, and it finally dawned on me. It's because he sees the trailer. Bulls probably end up riding a stock trailer more than any other type of cow, and usually whatever's on the other end of a stock trailer ride is something good. Better feed or fresh cows. And I think the other thing that bulls start to associate trailers with is other bulls. So whenever they see a trailer, they get excited because they know that either they're going somewhere good or they got a new friend showing up and they might have to establish who the big dog is. I guess really the biggest takeaway from today is how bad this loading chute is. And I think part of it is as I improve other parts of the ranch or other parts of the working system, it just sort of highlights those ones that you haven't improved yet because they just start to feel like they are worse. In fact, this was so bad down here, I usually don't do this, but I think I might actually have to spend a little bit of money to fix this up so that we can get the cattle shipped to the winter pasture and get the calves shipped to the auction when the time comes. I'm just not sure this is up to it anymore. Usually when I know I'm gonna replace a fence line, I don't really do a lot of repair work to it because it kind of seems pointless, if that thing still works, to spend any time or money on it knowing that you're gonna be tearing it all out in the next year or so. But I don't think I have time or resources really to rebuild this fence this year, and so we might have to do a little patch job on it just to spruce it up a little bit so that it can get through the next few things that I need it to do. The next spring, once the cows are more or less done calving, you can bet this is all gonna be replaced. And so goes another day. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.